More breaking news coming in, breaking updates. Now the Indian Air Force has responded to the Agnipath scheme, tweeting, and I quote here, the IAF welcomes a step to grant a one-time waiver to increase the upper age limit to 23 years for the Agnipath scheme. This will help aspirants whose recruitment was affected due to COVID-19 restrictions. The IAF keenly looks forward to inducting the Agniveers. So there, the Indian Air Force also responding to the Agnipath scheme. Remember, the upper age limit has been increased from 21 years earlier to 23 years now, and the IAF also lauding this initiative by the centre, saying that all those aspirants who could not get recruited due to the COVID pandemic will get a chance to get recruited in the armed forces, saying that it welcomes a step to grant a one-time waiver to increase the upper age limit to 23 years for the Agnipath scheme. This will in fact help the aspirants whose recruitment was affected due to COVID-19 restrictions, and that the IAF keenly looks forward to inducting the Agniveers. And this, of course, just after the Defence Minister also made an announcement reiterating that the upper age limit has been increased from 21 years earlier to 23 years, saying that all those aspirants who could not get recruited in the last 2 years will get a chance to get recruited this time in the armed forces. So the IAF also lauding the initiative by the government there, saying that the government has increased the upper age limit for the Agnipath recruitment drive to 23 years, and welcoming this one-time waiver in the scheme that has been announced by the Defence Ministry. Remember, 46,000 army aspirants will be recruited by this Agnipath scheme this year around. Just a short while back, we had Defence Minister as well, who announced that the upper age limit has been increased from 21 years to 23 years now. And now the IAF also lauding this initiative, saying that it welcomes a move for this one-time waiver of increasing the age limit from 21 years to 23 years for those aspiring to get into the armed forces. So 46,000 recruits, the Agniveers, who will be recruited by this Agnipath scheme that has been announced by the centre. A very transformative scheme that has been announced by the centre there, and the Home Minister Amit Shah as well, we are told, has also tweeted on this Agnipath scheme. After the age limit has been increased to 23 years. Remember, a lot of aspirants could not get into the armed forces in the last 2 years as it was halted amid the pandemic. And now the government saying that the age limit has been increased, keeping in mind all those who could not get recruited because of the pandemic situation in the last 2 years. And the tweet on your screens as well that has been put out by Amit Shah there, welcoming the move there by the Defence Ministry, lauding this initiative to increase the age limit, saying there, and I quote here what the Home Minister has tweeted, saying that this decision will benefit a large number of youth and move towards service to the country and their bright future through the Agnipath scheme. I thank PM Modi for this. So Home Minister Amit Shah there also lauding this initiative and this move that has been announced by the Defence Ministry to increase the upper age limit to 23 years, and saying that the decision will benefit a large number of youth and move towards service of the country as well and the bright future through the Agnipath scheme. I thank PM Modi for this. The IAF, remember, has also tweeted saying that it welcomes the move to increase the upper age limit to 23 years for the Agniveers there who will get recruited this year itself. Remember, 46,000 as army aspirants will get recruited by this Agnipath scheme in 2022 itself, saying that all those who did not get a chance to get recruited by this scheme will get recruited this time around. We have Abhishek Kapoor as well, our executive editor for politics, joining us for more details. Ishwarya, how do you read into this waiver that has been announced by the centre, increasing the age limit from 21 earlier to 23 years now?
Right now, the moment is speaking is right. It's that all those rumors which are being spread need to be laid to rest, and making it clear has done it for the interest of the youth. That kind of violent protest took place from Bihar to Haryana, and this is something which the government of India is not at all comfortable with. Simultaneously, they have also spoken to the state administration, because law and order is basically a state subject. But as far as the scheme is concerned, government is very clear that this is a positive scheme and this is for the benefit of the youth and for people, for army as an organization.
All right, stay with us, Ishwara. We are also being joined by our senior executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor, on the phone line. Abhishek, if I can get your perspective on this age limit that has been increased from 21 years earlier to 23 years now.
Well, Samiksha, so the issue was that for the last 2 years of pandemic, the recruitments were kept in abeyance. It did not happen. So essentially, the protests that we have seen spanning across the country, particularly in the Hindi heartland, are by those youngsters who thought that for the last 2 years they have not been able to appear, and now because of age difference that has come in for the last 2 years past, they will not be able to appear in the Agnipath process also. They will not be able to participate in the Agnipath recruitment scheme also. And that's why the government yesterday evening took a decision to amend the date of entry and exit and has increased the age limit, upper age limit from 21 years as it was envisaged in the original Agnipath scheme to 23 years, accommodating all these aspirants of last 2 years. So I think the government is sending across a strong message to these youth who have been waylaid in some cases and who might be coming out and indulging in these acts out of angst also, that your issues and concerns are taken care of and the government is sensitive to the matter and that amendments will be incorporated. So I think it's a strong message coming in from the government that it is concerned about the welfare and the well-being of this lot of youngsters as well, and that the entire scheme should not be thrown like a baby with the bath water. And the purpose of the process that has been envisaged in terms of bringing a younger army, giving the nation a more energetic, fitter, younger army over a period of next 5-6 years is not being lost sight of. So I think an important decision being taken by the government, and now we have seen how ministry after ministry, beginning with the Home Minister himself meeting, that all those agreements who will be coming out after 4 years and not getting absorbed in the Indian Armed Forces, who will get preference in the paramilitary forces of the same time, and also the state police forces. We have seen how state after state from Uttar Pradesh to Uttarakhand to Gujarat to Madhya Pradesh, they have come out announcing that all these agencies will be given preference of employment and jobs in various state police forces, even state departments. So I think all those concerns are getting addressed. Maybe there was an issue with the communication outreach as a build-up to the scheme. It was just some people just caught off guard, and that's why they have reacted in the manner that they have. And now with the decisions being taken, Samiksha, I think all those concerns, many of them stand addressed, and over a period of time, and when the government says that they are open to the idea of further consulting, involving stakeholders, and if need be, making some more amends. But the larger picture and the larger objective of the government in bringing in this scheme to make the Indian Armed Forces younger, fitter, and leaner war machine should not be lost sight of.
That's right. Abhishek, if you could once again for your viewers take us through these avenues that will open up for all those after the completion of this 4-year tenure in this Agnipath scheme.
Well, exactly. So, as it is envisaged, Samiksha, the fact is that when Agnipath gets into this scheme and through this process into the armed forces, they get a short-term training of 6 months, and then they get deployed as regular soldiers. That goes on for only 4 years. But what happens after 4 years is important. Of about every 100, 25 only get absorbed in the forces, the rest 75. The government has set up a mechanism to take care of their absorption back into a civil society. So for example, those Agnipaths who want to become entrepreneurs, they will get a financial package, which is roughly about 11 lakh crore rupees, and then a bank loan scheme will be there to support them in their enterprise. Also, if those who want to continue and study further, remember they will just be about 21, 22 when they come out with a corpus of about 12 lakh rupees, 11 lakh rupees. If they want to study further, they will be given a class 12 equivalent certificate, plus bridging course for other studies and credits in the want to enroll in specific courses. Similarly, for those who want to obtain jobs, as I mentioned earlier, beginning with the Home Ministry, the Union Home Ministry, and the various state governments, they have said that preference would be given to Agnipath in getting jobs or getting placed in state police forces, in central paramilitary forces, and other organizations with the center and state department, state government. So I think adequate provisions have been made to make sure that the contractual nature of the initial 4 years of the Agnipath scheme and should not in any way affect the job opportunity, the placement opportunities, the future prospects of those who are coming out. Remember, they will just be 21. If they did not join the forces as Agnipath and continue to study, they would still just have completed graduation with no money, no skills, nothing, fresh out of campuses, and still looking for opportunities, looking for skills, looking for agencies that can help them. So in that sense, all the Agnipaths out of this process would have better opportunities, better grooming, better skill sets, and better hand-holding vis-a-vis other groups. So I think these concerns that have been raised about the future being dark, the job prospects not being there, are really a myth created by those who are not well informed or perhaps motivated. Remember, there is an element of opposition, political opposition as well. So I think in that sense, the government making this communication outreach right from the top. We have seen the Prime Minister, we have seen the Defence Minister, in fact, leading the 3 service chiefs in announcement of the scheme, and then the various central ministries coming out. For example, the Education Minister, Dharmesh Pradhan, announced that in coordination with the Defence Ministry, they will make sure that adequate certification process is done for all those Agnipaths who are not getting absorbed in the armed forces. So I think a lot of effort now going in. Some would say this should have been done before announcing the scheme, so that all the perception issues that have got created were minimal. And then now it has happened, and now the government is really coming back with explanation of all the myth, propaganda and misinformation that is being created about this scheme.
Abhishek, as you mentioned, there were some concerns of the youth which have rightly been assuaged by the centre. If you could also take us through the financial package that has been announced as part of this Agnipath scheme.
Yeah, Samisha, so what happens is that a young boy or girl after class 10, if they get to become Agnipath after qualifying through the recruitment process, they start getting 30,000 rupees per month, of which 10,000 or 9,000 some rupees they deposit as part of their funds, provident fund. The government deposits an equal amount. By the time the 4 years are over, they get about 7 lakh rupees per month by the time they complete the services, about 7 lakh rupees per annum. But if they do not qualify to get absorbed in the services, they come out with a golden handshake, which includes about 11 lakh rupees of corpus they have collected between themselves and the government, and the placement opportunities in which the government will do hand-holding. Remember, all these 4 years they have collected a certificate, they have created a corpus of 11 lakh rupees, they have earned something like 20 lakh rupees. So by the time a young man or boy getting into this Agnipath process comes out, even if he or she is not getting absorbed in the armed forces, the person would have earned about something like 30 lakh rupees on the certificate, on the fantastic experience as part of the best of defense forces that are available anywhere in the world. And those skill sets will then help them get absorbed in civil society, a cut above the rest. So I think all these aspects have not got communicated properly or got clouded with all the misinformation that is floating around. And that's something I think the government also should make a little more effort to make a communication outreach and a targeted communication outreach to these youngsters and stop them from indulging in this misguided violence that we have seen in some places. The government can really act tough, provided it communicates also properly all these various aspects of the Agnipath recruitment scheme that perhaps have gone unnoticed or not focused upon as much as they should have been.
All right, Abhishek, thank you so much for getting us all those details. So as Abhishek put it, there were some concerns of the youth which have been allayed by the centre there, and the upper age limit for recruitment into the Agnipath scheme has now been increased from 21 years earlier to 23 years now.